and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie, and this is the week 21 book wrap up for May the 19th through the 25th. As I said, this is the weekly wrap-up for May the 19th through the 25th, and that makes it week 21 of 2019, and I got a lot of reading done. Well, I got 6 books done, so, I mean, it wasn't a lot of reading, and I'm also currently in the middle of a readathon that I decided to do, which I'm calling 48 and 72, kind of a play on the 24 and 48. This one is pretty much the same purpose. You want to try and read 48 hours out of the 72 hours of the long weekend that we have here in the United States. Let's not forget what this weekend is actually about. It's to remember and give thanks to the fallen soldiers that have died in a battle or for a military cause. That is what Memorial Day is all about. So please don't leave any comments thanking me. This is not my holiday. My holiday comes in November, and this is for those that we have lost, that have sacrificed the greatest sacrifice they could for this country. So now that's out of the way, let's talk about what I read last week, because it was amazing. Oh my goodness. So to start off the week, I finished reading my physical copy of Twisted Tangled Web #1 by Alethea Roman, and as you can see, I read this as an arc. This is a romantic suspense. That's where I am placing it because it's amazing. Oh my goodness. It doesn't have too much romance in it as of right now for this book, but I know the romance is coming because, woo, that ending. Yes, it's a cliffhanger because it is a trilogy. There are 3 books in this series, and they are coming out pretty quickly all this year, and oh, I can't wait for this ride. So I give this book 4.5 stars. There is a little bit of room for improvement, of course, and I give it 3 Steam fans because, like I said, this is all about the suspense. This is Alethea's tiptoe back into her dark side and her twistedness that we found if you found the Consequences series, you saw all the twists and turns. You didn't feel any romance or whatever. This has just a little tease of what the romance could be, and our 2 characters are Laurel and Cater. Cater is just a huge mystery. You have no clue what's going on with him. You have a little inkling of a feeling about how he might tie to the story, but it's mostly about learning about Laurel and how she is a doctor, and she is in the works of creating this PTSD drug that's to help people, and when a fundraiser starts to open her eyes to all the things that she did not see while she was trying to create this drug with her team, ooh, the mystery starts to unfold, and it is just absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get to the next book, and luckily I'm on the art team, so I can't wait until it's ready for us to read. The next book that I read was One Cruel Night, which is Cruel .5 by K.A. Lindy. I placed this in New Adult. I also read it for Romance Genreathon this month. I give this book 4 stars. I give it 4 Steam fans, and I listened to it on audiobook. This book introduces us as a novella to the relationship between Natalie and Penn. They meet in Paris at a socialites party one night, and then they explore Paris and have some fun sexy time. Ooh, yes! Oh my goodness. Loved every minute of it. So that rolls me into the next book that I finished reading, which was Cruel Money, Cruel #1 by K.A. Lindy, which I also place in New Adult. And give this book 4.5 stars, and for Steam fans, listen to it on audiobook as well. And this is the continuation, or what happens after 5 years of Penn and Natalie being apart, and then their worlds collide again, and what happens and everything like that. So I don't want to tell you too much about it, but it definitely gives you that Cruel Intention cult movie vibe, and I was totally here for it. Oh my goodness, loved every minute of it, and just had to like devour all the books in this series that are out. Now, took a break from that series and listened to the next book, which is American Squire by Sierra Simone. This is an erotic short story, male romance, and I give it 5 humongous stars. 5 Steam fans, so much on fire. Oh my goodness. And I listened to it on the podcast of Read Me Romance. Read Me Romance. And now, I must tell you, if you have not read the New Camelot series, you probably will listen to this story and not get all the feels and all the hotness and all the just amazingness of this story. But if you have read the New Camelot series, then you know one of the characters. You know Ryan, and you know how he fits into the story and everything like that. So I think that would be a very different sort of experience for me had I not read this, knew all the backstory and everything like that. But being that I did, this is Ryan's story. This is before you find out the true ending of the New Camelot series, and he is in England looking for something for Merlin and for a book, and he meets this man named Sydney, and Sydney. Wow. And then the two of them are just fire. It's just so good. It's so very good. Now, if you're not into the BDSM or dominant, submissive sort of kink, and that is not your thing, I think you may want to pass. But like I said, if you have read the New Camelot series and you know the character of Ryan, you know how he is and what his character is about, you're going to love this little peek into his new life. Oh, yes. And I also finished After, which is After number 1 by Anna Todd. Yes, I did it. I am placing this in new adult, and I read it for the romance genre-thon. I give this book 4 stars. I give it 3 Steam fans. I listened to it on audiobook, and this book follows Tessa, who is a freshman in college, and she sort of gets this infatuation with this guy named Hayden, and Hayden is really sort of possessive and crazy, and lots of people think that this is a very unhealthy relationship that they have going on. But if you finish out the entire book, you will see that it has some cruel intentions, sort of like little sprinklings to it. Now, did I feel that this book was a little too long? Oh yes, most definitely. I definitely think that I took 16 hours, I think the audiobook is, and I think it's like 500 and something pages long. I definitely think it did not need to be that long. Could have done without some of that. I did find myself like zoning out on some of it. It was like nah, and he did this again, and it was like a day-to-day like play-by-play for like I want to say a year of them being together. Wow. So that aspect, got it ranked down some stars. But I can also see how this book is highly addictive. And if you're into that sort of, new adult scene, which I am totally here for, it's smart. It really is smart if you think about it. And I liked it. I can't wait to get to the next book. However, my For some reason, I am starting to learn that whole Scribd thing where your books aren't available to you for a certain amount of time. Yep, this happens to be one of them. The next book, I can't get to that one until it becomes available to me. So I won't be going on with the series until then. And then the final book, which I am adding on, even though I finished it this morning, because of my 48 and 72 that I am doing, readathon that I'm doing, which is Cruel Fortune, Cruel book number 2 by K.A. Lindy in that Cruel series. Ugh. New adult, romance genre-thon. I give this one 4.5 stars. And this book brings out Cruel Intention along with Gossip Girl to play together in a political new adult situation, and I am totally here for it. Totally here for it. Loved every minute of it. This story is a continuation on with Natalie a year after the events that happened at the end of Cruel Money, and now we're bringing in some of the other characters, even more prevalent. You get to see Lewis. K.A. Lindy likes to do this thing where she makes me really sort of dislike some of her characters, and by putting them together, and then I'm like, why did you do that? Why? And I'm not going to give too many names or anything like that, but this is definitely a continuation of Penn and Natalie and the crew, and how they all interweave with each other, and how just damn evil they are to each other to be, you know, East Side socialites and everything like that. Ugh. I now have to wait until July for the third book to find out how it all ends, because I know that shit's gonna be on point. I can't wait. I can't wait. I loved K.A. Lindy's other Avoiding series. I believe that's what it's called. Loved that one when I read it. All the angst and craziness and just loving and hating characters and rooting for one character and not... Same here. Same with this one, and I can't wait to finish out this series. Super excited about that. Now, on to what I am still reading for the rest of next week. I am reading The Red Zone by Amy Knight, which I am reading as an arc. I have started it, and I am enjoying this book already. I think I'm about 20% in, and it's a story about a young lady that tutored a guy when he was a senior. So she was a freshman, he was a senior, and she was, you know, wasn't developed as a woman yet. She was just a girl, and he was that star quarterback and everything like that. Things happen, and he has to come back from his pro sort of bigness because his mother dies to take care of his sister. She's now all, the young girl that tutored him is now all grown up and happens to be the tutor of his sister. So I'm real excited what's going to happen when they finally do meet again, because we've gotten some of their backstory and some of their history and everything like that so far that I've gotten to, and I'm just excited. I want to see what happens when they come back together. Let's see if we can, you know, make that happen. I'm real excited about that. I am also reading No Strings by Amila Hart, and I'm reading this as a physical arc, which is upstairs, so I didn't have it with me, but the authors sent it to me in a blogger box. Super excited to get that one. I did an Insta story about that, but yeah, it's about firemen, and it's only like a novella, I think. I think they're calling it a novella. I'm not sure if they're calling it a novella or not, but it's only 11 chapters and an epilogue, so it's really super short, and I hope to fly through it during this readathon that I'm doing over the Memorial Day weekend. Whew. Alrighty, so that is what I am reading, what I read last week. Let me know if my description of any of those books makes you want to go out and read them. If you've read them, let me know your feelings down in the comment section. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.